Let's talk about Keir Starmer. Okay, Keir Starmer, in my opinion, really does have a messiah complex. Yep, this sad, inadequate, incompetent little man really has managed to convince himself that it is his divinely anointed destiny to save us all. And we're going to look at four examples of this Messiah complex manifesting itself. Firstly, this modern day superhero apparently had to sweep in and save the Labour Party from that evil jam making man and his vile army of socialist followers who wanted things like a well funded NHS, an end to homelessness, warm pensioners, children that don't go to bed hungry. Oh, the devils, the evil so and so's. And just to clarify, by sweep in and save the Labour Party, I mean stab his predecessor in the back and then lie his way into the leadership with his now notorious 10 so called pledges. If we just look at some of the self aggrandizing newspaper headlines that his acquiescent hacks across virtually every UK publication, Telegraph, Mail, Mirror, Guardian. So we were seeing things like, I've changed Labour permanently, Keir Starmer says. Keir Starmer's transformation of the Labour Party. Well, interesting. Mm. And as far as both of those headlines go, undoubtedly true. He has changed the Labour Party. He changed it from a social democratic party that was looking to modestly make a redistribution of wealth, redistribution of power. Yes, Keir's changed it from that to something these days you might have said indistinguishable from the Tories, but we're getting to the point where it's indistinguishable from Nigel Farage's Reform Party. That is how far right Keir Starmer has transformed the Labour Party as him and his scribes want to portray it. But in terms of also in terms of this transformation, how has this messianic mission to save the Labour Party, how has that actually panned out from in reality? Well, here in Scotland, we are getting headlines like Labour set for worst election defeat since devolution. Current opinion polls are disastrous for Scottish Labour, absolutely disastrous. Um, it is inconceivable that Anas Sarwar could actually find himself as the First Minister when we have the Scottish elections next year. That is just not going to happen. And the reason it's not going to happen can be summed up in two words: Keir Starmer. Keir Starmer has been a total disaster as far as Scottish Labour and its electoral ambitions go. But of course, it's not just up here in Scotland. If we have a little look at the rest of the UK, we're seeing opinion polls like this. Seriously, I mean, this is just a sort of standard of the last one from the last batch of 5 or 6 opinion polls. Shocking, absolutely shocking. This is Keir Starmer's transformation of the Labour Party in action. I mean, now trailing Reform, now trailing Nigel Farage's Reform Party. And based on these figures, Um, and these figures are only going to get worse as his and Rachel Reeves' austerity programme bites. Starmer is actually going to be assured his place in history. I mean, that will appeal to his megalomaniac sort of messianic convictions. He will have a place in history, but that place in history is going to be as the man that totally destroyed the Labour Party as an electoral force come the next general election. I mean, it's virtually guaranteed. I mean, we're going to have Reform and Tories and then Labour trailing somewhere woefully behind. Worst election result ever. If these, and I still think these figures will get even worse for them the closer we get to the next general election. But I said I was going to give 4 examples. So moving on to the second one, for someone with Starmer's delusions of grandeur, saving the Labour Party was obviously only a stepping stone to even greater ambition. And after saving the Labour Party, his next messianic mission was to save Britain and the British economy. Well, so far, how is that going for him? Well, I think we all know the answer because we're all living with the reality of it, which is pretty grim. Headlines from the last few weeks, we're looking at things like UK economic growth downgraded after weaker than expected end to 2024. Why has Labour failed so badly on the economy? Now, that's a very interesting question because I think I can answer it. I think it's very easy to answer. Why has Labour failed so badly on the economy? And the reason is that his brilliant strategy for saving the British economy was to continue implementing the exact same neoliberal, austerity driven policies that the Tories had followed and had absolutely got us into the mess we were in the first place. But Keir had a secret weapon. Wasn't he just following the same disastrous policies that the Tory had? And his secret weapon was the unique incompetence of his psychic Rachel from Accounts. Now, Rachel from Accounts is coming from expose after expose of the lies and exaggerations that Rachel Reeves has perpetrated on the British public through her CV and her LinkedIn and whatever, because it's becoming clear she was never this high flying economist from the Bank of England that she attempted to pass herself off as. And as the headlines have been telling us, from HBOS complaints desk to Chancellor, the curious case of Rachel from Accounts. She was never qualified to be in the job she was in. She was never competent to be in the job she's in. And I don't want to detail the lies and misrepresentations that have followed Rachel Reeves because they're well covered elsewhere. But she's a liar. I mean, she's like Keir Starmer. She's just another barefaced liar. That the truth is a complete anathema to her. It is do anything, say anything that suits you at the time, true or untrue, it doesn't matter. Because they just have no integrity, either from Starmer or Reeves, absolutely no personal integrity whatsoever. And the reality economically that we're all living with, thanks to Keir Starmer and Rachel Reeves, half of Britons say Rachel Reeves' decisions have made them less confident about economic growth. Well, yeah, I mean, I would say that was putting it rather mildly. Um, and it's the business taxes. I mean, she could have chosen to increase tax on the wealthy. She could have chosen to increase tax on corporations. Um, but no, I mean, she decided that she was going to increase tax on business, on national insurance, employers' national insurance, the worst choice you could have made. Um, Rachel Reeves' increase in business taxes has taken its toll on the UK economy as companies cut back hiring, adding to warnings that the Chancellor's budget has sapped corporate confidence heading into the new year. And now that we're into the new year, we can see that that reality is played out exactly. It was a disastrous decision, but she will not tax the wealthy, she will not tax the corporations, and I'll tell you why, because these are the people that are now funding the Labour Party, and she's absolutely beholden to them, and she dare not cross them. She's doing their bidding at every turn and twist. And the people that are going to suffer is the rest of us, because the corporations are still going to be making mega profits. The rich are still continuing to get richer. And she will protect their wealth and their profits and their dividends and their shareholders at all costs, even if the rest of us, even if the rest of us are living in complete and total penury. Doesn't matter to Rachel from accounts, because Rachel of accounts is there to serve her paymasters, and that's exactly what she will do. But, and now moving on to our third messianic mission for Keir, saving Britain and the British economy. That's not enough either. But Keir also thinks he now has to save Europe from Putin. As the US withdraws its security guarantees from Europe, Starmer once again hears destiny calling. PM ready to put troops on ground in Ukraine to protect peace. Hmm. So, turns out he will be the one to take up the cudgels, leading a united European army in a blaze of glory, holding Putin's barbarian holds at bay. In his head, God knows who he thinks he is: Churchill, Napoleon, Alexander the Great, Conan the Barbarian for that matter. Who knows what's going on in his head? But significantly, other European leaders, I'm afraid, do not share his delusions and were very quick to say so. Germany to reject Starmer's plan for troops in Ukraine as Europe splits over peace deal. Poland says not planning to send troops to Ukraine. Okay, and on to our fourth example of Keir Starmer's megalomania. And you can probably guess what's coming: save the Labour Party, save the British economy, save Europe. Only one place you can go from here, and that is, of course, Keir's divine mission to save the world. I mean, as we all know, a true Messiah complex can only really have one final destination. And who is he destined to save the world from? Yes, it's the great Nazi ethno-fascist across the water, the Mad Emperor of Washington. And let's be honest, do you really believe that Starmer will stand up to Trump? I mean, we just need to look at his behaviour in the UK today. I mean, we know he's the hard man when it comes to sticking the boot into cold, freezing pensioners and hungry children and desperate refugees. And equally, we know when it comes to the rich and the powerful, Keir Starmer is on his knees, licking their boots. He just goes into this completely submissive mode that is really quite disturbing in a way to watch and to see it happening so explicitly. He will not stand up to Trump. Now, apparently, he's off to see Trump next week. But Trump has made it clear via his Minister of Propaganda, a latter day Gorbals, if there ever was one, Elon Musk. They've made it clear exactly what they think of Keir Starmer. Nobody's under any illusion about what they think of Keir Starmer. Musk examines how to oust Starmer as UK Prime Minister before next election. Elon Musk has done nothing but, can we say, still say tweet? He's done nothing but use his social media platform to attack Britain, to attack Keir Starmer. And, there's no doubt that is reflecting exactly what Trump thinks. You know, I mean, there's no doubt about it. That is the consensus of opinion in these right wing lunatics that are in charge of Washington at the moment. That is their opinion. And Starmer won't stand up to Trump on Ukraine. He won't stand up to Trump on Palestine or any other issue. Now, Ed Davey, leader of Lib Dems, isn't usually somebody we quote approvingly, but I couldn't help thinking when he said this that he was bang on the money, that he really did catch something with this. And what he said was, we can't just be supine. Ed Davey urges Starmer to stand up to bully Trump. Keir Starmer's approach to Donald Trump is like that of a child in a playground hoping the bully doesn't notice them. Now, seriously, doesn't that just conjure up a wonderful image? I mean, 10 out of 10 to Ed Davey there. That is just so Keir Starmer. A child in a playground, doing nothing, saying nothing, just hoping the bully doesn't notice them, just hoping the bully doesn't turn their attention on him. Just weak, spineless, frightened, useless. That is just Keir Starmer to a T. Ed Davey was also saying that Keir Starmer should be brave in standing up to the US president, which, of course, I mean, he won't. I mean, he's hope against hope he would ever do that. There's just no way that Keir Starmer has that in him. He's just spineless. He's just totally spineless when he's dealing with people that he perceives as more powerful than he is. So when it comes to Starmer's four messianic missions, save the Labour Party, save the British economy, save Europe, save the world, Starmer has already failed, or he will fail. We can guarantee that he's going to fail on every one of those. But where does it leave us on the left? What are we supposed to do at the moment? What is our way forward? Starmer's here for another couple of years. Trump is definitely there for another couple of years as well. It really feels quite depressing. It feels like a very, very dark time. But I mean, we just have to. Things will change. I mean, we just need to keep that in mind that nothing lasts forever, and that includes Keir Starmer and Trump. We just need to be ready. Council elections are part of the UK. This year's Scottish Parliament elections, next year. We just need to be looking at who are the left wing candidates, who are the people saying the things that we believe in, regardless of their chance of being elected, because now is the time to stand up for what we believe in. I think we have had enough of voting for the lesser of two evils. We've seen where that got us. That was a lot of people's logic in voting for Starmer in the last general election as the lesser of two evils. But it turns out the lesser of two evils is quite often just as evil, if not more evil, than what it's replacing. So no more voting for the lesser of two evils. It's standing up for our principles, standing up for what we believe in, finding the candidates on those ballot papers that are saying that, getting out there, not just voting for them, possibly knocking on doors, handing out leaflets for them. I mean, let's at least try and make it clear the left is not dead. Despite Starmer, despite Trump, we are still here. We are still speaking up for what we believe in, and we will not be silenced. We will not be intimidated. That is the only way forward for us. And things will change. Okay, thanks for watching. Please support Left Wing Voices on social media by liking the video, commenting, subscribing to the channel, and chat again soon.